Well, hello everyone in YouTube land. This is Annette Dion, the host and creator of the Psychic News Network. It's Saturday, the last day of July. Happy Lammas to those of you that are of the pagan persuasion. It's really a time of the first harvest. Oh, and appropriately, I did go to the farm to get some veggies. Good time to go to the farmer's market, get some fresh stuff. It's a feast of like bread, so get some good sourdough bread or whatever floats your boat. Yeah, so when we last left our story, oh my goodness, it's hard to keep up, isn't it? I'm trying to remember. When we last left our story, we did not have all this further evidence on 45 that he just, I gotta tell you, I don't know, it's disturbing to me. I don't know why this man is walking free on the planet right now. I can't wrap my mind around it. I do want to look at the cards and find out what is up with that. Why is he a free man? He's guilty of every one of the 10 commandments, for one thing. I think I went through them one day and I'm like, yeah, did it, he did it, did that. So, interesting. I do want to look at that. We're going to look at that. Okay, the other thing is we have to pray and send light and love to those who are being evicted from their homes. I don't want to get negative, but it's a very sad state of affairs, so we're going to take a look at that too. I want to get everyone's into perspective here. We're going through a time where, humanity, and especially the United States, is learning that things can't keep going the way that they've been going. It's not sustainable. And that includes our economy. Treating people like they're servants and slaves and not paying a living wage. I mean, if you've ever tried to make ends meet on $7-10 an hour, if you try to figure it out, you go, I gotta have 5 jobs just to get the rent paid. And that's literal. So these, people came into rough times because we were living paycheck to paycheck. Most people in this country, or a good I keep wanting to say majority, a large percentage of the American population has been living paycheck to paycheck for a very long time now, to the point, as we heard in the presidential campaign, the Democrats spoke several times about the fact that most American families would have trouble scraping together $400 in the case of a car breakdown, or just needing some cash on hand. Money in the piggy bank. So now the harsh reality is hitting us in the face, and now we've come to a time where we can't not see what's going on. I know the GOP wants you to not see what's right in front of your eyes. Like you've heard me say, it's the gaslighting era. But there's a time people aren't going to stand for it anymore. And I know that that's true. I can feel it. It's not true that we're going to stand for it anymore. And it really does take a crisis to get the necessary momentum for the actual change. It does take a crisis. That's the way it's always been. And we are in crisis after crisis after crisis. And I've been mentioning that my guides are saying that the best thing to do from an energy perspective is get a group of people together and pray and intend, whatever you call it. Just get a group of people together, even if it's just like, I'm going to be praying at this time, or I'm going to be sending good vibes out at this time. Can you do that too? I have a friend that watches, we're doing a novena together for the truth to be outed about January 6th. Speaking of that, those guys are squirming. They're squirming. If you haven't yet, check out Bridge Cape Ann, Ask Annette, our show on YouTube. I talked a lot about what was going on with the insurrection, and that was early in the week. That was Wednesday, I think. That was prior to Yeah, it was Wednesday. The more information coming out about 45 trying to get the Bill Barr to just say I won. Just say I won. Just say I won the election. I remember that night. I'm sure you do too. The election night when he got out there was the weirdest thing. He got out, it was about 10 o'clock at night and of election night, and he gathered a bunch of his cronies together and his so-called fans. I don't know why, it's all about the money. And he actually, on election night, 45 stood up there at around 10 o'clock at night and said, I won! And that's what he wanted everybody to do, to just say he won. He didn't need to earn it. He never had to earn anything in his life. So he just figured, he doesn't have any concept of having to earn something. Some people don't. And can I just say, to hear Jim Jordan, no, it was a very bad, he wasn't even trying to cover it up. To hear him say he talks to the president all the time, and on January 6th, well, yeah, he talked to the president on January 6th, but he doesn't remember when. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't a hugely significant day. The lies are getting really bad, aren't they? When I read these particular Republicans energetically, it's very disjointed energy. It's like they're going around only with half of a brain, if even that. I think that's generous. They're going around with brains that aren't really functioning. That is true. They really are. So, I'm going to ask the pendulum about I'm just jumping around to different topics. But you want to go back to the people that are going to be homeless. Are the Democrats going to rally to pass something that's going to help these poor families and people that have gotten addicted? Are the Democrats? Yes. There is a representative that I don't recall her name at the moment, but I think she slept on the steps of the Capitol. Oh, the Five of Wands. It's going to be challenging, but I really do have a sense of something's going to pull through. I mean, I try not to get angry when I think about all these billionaires that didn't pay any taxes. And they're letting people go homeless. If we don't keep up, if we don't participate and keep up, we are on our way to being a banana republic, a lawless government. I'm not saying that's going to happen. That's not a prediction. That's a warning that the trajectory that we are currently on is going that way, and we will change it. We just have to wake each other up. We have to wake each other up and go, hey, have you paid attention to the news today? Have you done something to help our democracy, like Elijah Cummings said? When you're up there in heaven, you're dancing with the angels, and they ask, hey, what did you do to help save democracy? What will you say? Good old Elijah Cummings. Him and John Lewis are up there. They're guiding us. They're guiding us. I do get that there will be aid for the people that are homeless, but my God, that's like, talk about stress. I'm going to pick 3 cards about that too, because it just seems like an important topic. Are the people that are currently, right now as we speak, take a moment and pray for them. Whatever, you send them light, whatever you do. Are they going to be okay? Like, is aid going to rush in really quickly? Yes, this looks like yes. And I see this female. This is like this is Kamala, I feel, but not just Kamala. This is other senators too, other females. This is the mama energy. The mama energy is coming in. The mama energy, mama bear energy is going to change us. All those moms that are senators and representatives, they're not going to let these little babies just be homeless. And this is the Six of Wands. Is they're going to line it up. Unfortunately, it's going to be too late for some. They're lining it up so that there is aid. The Six of Pentacles is they will find the money. Don't let anybody ever try to convince you that we have no money in this country, that we can't afford the stimulus bill. If you want to do the math, figure out how much Bezos has not paid in taxes. The owner of Amazon. How much has he not paid in taxes? Coupled with Mr. Branson and Elon Musk. I'm sorry, they have to pay their fair share. The Waltons, the Walmart, you know, the airlines, you know, these big companies that don't need bailouts. It's unevenly distributed. It's very unevenly distributed. It's like top heavy with. We all know this. I don't have to tell you this. It's so annoying. All right, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. We just can't get frustrated. When we get frustrated, we have to turn that thought energy into what we want to see happen. Okay, the COVID numbers are through the roof. I think it's really interesting that it's come down to life and death. That it's literally come down to life or death. If you are not vaccinated, wear a mask. And now if you are vaccinated, still wear a mask. It's very shocking to hear that if you are vaccinated, you can be carrying loads of virus. Even though you're vaccinated and you're not having symptoms, you can be a carrier of the virus. So in the presence of somebody who's not vaccinated, you are a toxic thing walking around. So if you're not vaccinated, please wear a mask. And don't eat at restaurants indoors. You know, when you're indoors, wear a mask. I'm telling you, the Delta is the worst. The Delta is the worst. I mean, personally, I'm just hunkering down until Delta passes. That's where I'm at. I'm just hunkering down. I'm not really doing much of anything. It's okay. I have a lot of books. There's a lot of movies. If you want to write a book, this is a good time to write a book. But you got to consider that we are where we were at when COVID began. Right now in this country, we are going in that direction. Remember people who were just washing their bananas with bleach? Huh. All right. On a positive front, it's a beautiful day in New England. Really, the sun's been out all day. It's so strange. We've had a very wet summer, which I never mind because I always worry about water supply. Because where I live, they've way overdeveloped and they don't know the crises that are coming. They don't know. They should ask the psychic, but it doesn't take a psychic. I can't wait to go live. When I have 1,000 people, I can go live because you guys could scroll with your questions. All right, let's get down to business. COVID. People will die. A lot of people. We're going to lose a lot of people. The guides are showing me, like, I'm sorry, I'm just going to tell you, the guides are showing me 250,000 additional Americans dead. Not immediately, obviously, but what are we at? 600 and something thousand right now. Yeah, that goes along with the prediction that was given to me early on that we'll have we will have lost 1 million people before we get it under control. I'm sorry, this is terrible news. It's terrible news. We got to look at the big picture. It's happening for a reason. There's got to be a light. There's got to be a light. Let's see what's going on with that. Yeah, this is interesting because I'm asking about COVID right now, and this is like the Four of Swords is like, we are down for the count. Literally the count. We're down for the count. We're like, whoa, what's going on here? What are we gonna do? We are, you know, this is like, this is a card of kind of like immobilization. It's like, whoa. The Two of Swords is that too, but this is more like, we have just gotten into overwhelm again. We're in overwhelm. We're looking at these swords. We're looking, they're like the problems, the 4 biggies, right? We're looking at all the problems and just sitting with them because we don't know what to do. We're just assessing the data. We're going to have to rebuild. We're going to have to rebuild the protection program, the COVID protection program. Maybe that's what they'll call it, CPP. The COVID protection program. We will get it we will get it slowed down. I do see we will get it slowed down. I even heard today that people are running out, kind of like people that said, no way am I going to get a vaccine. I heard today that those numbers are way up. So that is going to start to happen. And, you know, shame on those networks that shame people for wearing masks. You know, it's sad, but there are a lot of people that are just innocently gullible. So sad. So sad that they're innocently gullible, and you know, that watch Fox News that make fun of wearing masks. But they're in trouble. Let's do a little read on Fox News. What's going to happen with them? I mean, Laura Ingraham. You just want to. I'm sorry if you like that propaganda channel. You don't like my channel, so I love you, and you know, you might not want to watch me. It's not personal. Oh, okay. They're gonna. This is about Fox News. They're gonna see how much. Oh my gosh, I see lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after. They have piles and piles and piles of lawsuits. Some of them coming in are going to be people that have the means suing Fox for losing their loved one to COVID because Fox kept drilling it into their brains. People do get brainwashed. I see them having so many lawsuits about especially the COVID denial, pandemic denial. The Lever card indicates they're going to try to make nice. Fox News is going to try to make, well, they're kind of doing that now. They're kind of doing that now because they're saying, oh, well, you know, get vaccinated. Like Sean Hannity, I couldn't even believe it. I don't think Tucker has gone that far, or Laura on Fox, but there's gonna be, they're gonna be trying to make nice and do the right thing, but you know there's an ulterior motive because there always is. It's just like the Jim Jordans and the Kevin McCarthys of the world. They're even darker. The Two of Wands. They're gonna have to come. They're gonna have to come to some kind of compromise. Like it looks like this. Like conditions. They will have to succumb to conditions. You know, and I wonder if that fairness doctrine is going to be looked at again, which, you know, which got gutted, I think, during the Reagan administration. The fairness doctrine, which means that you have to tell the truth. If you're a news program, you have to be telling the truth. You have to be telling the news, the actual news, not lies. It's really amazing how many problems that we have that were really, you know, accelerated, like spraying accelerant on it. How much the misinformation has been to the demise of the common good. It's amazing. But yeah, Fox, how long is that? I feel like by December, Fox is going to really be changing their tune. They're going to have to. Plus, COVID is going to get so much worse. I'm so sorry to tell you that. I wish I could say better news about COVID, but it's like the wildfires. Those two issues and the global climate change, you know, we're going to see parts of the planet becoming uninhabitable. So I like to not think I'm giving you bad news. I just like to get you to think, you know, as a reality check. That's where we're headed, so we're going to have to make the turn. We're going to have to turn this big ship around somehow. Okay, so 45, let's go to that. Let's go to what's happening there. And let me tune into his energy. Ooh, I really, this is interesting because the last time I really tuned into him, he was really angry and really frazzled. The anger is there. I do sense that he's wanting to put together some kind of a plan, but the guides are telling me his brain is unable to organize it. And other people are trying to do it for him. It's almost like, you know, with the coup, thank goddess, the coup failed to a large degree, right? They didn't take down the entire government. So he has a botched plan in mind. So, and I feel like his brain is so fried from not sleeping and from dementia and from the drugs that he takes, because he's addicted to stimulants. And I've heard him speak a couple of times lately on, like, just YouTube a video of him speaking, and he sounded really drunk, and he doesn't drink. As more and more comes out that he can't cover up anymore, he's a bad cover-upper anyway, it comes out eventually, he's gonna get more and more frazzled. I mean, I know some people are saying he's gonna come back, but I don't see, the body can only do so much, and when the body's not resting, the brain doesn't get to function, because you need sleep in order to rest, and he's on fumes right now. I wonder if there are any rallies planned. Oh my goodness. It's over. It's over for 45. Let me remind you all, the death card doesn't really mean death. It means a big change. This is a big ending for him. He's trying to negotiate his way out of it, because that's what he does. He makes deals. He's trying to negotiate his way out of having to, like, being indicted, having to go stand trial. He's trying to finagle his way out of it. I'm a little concerned because I see him trying to finagle his way out of it with Jim Jordan and Kevin McCarthy and those dudes. Matt Gaetz too. I see Matt Gaetz. Wow. You know, I just have to say how ridiculous it looked when, you know, those like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and McCarthy, they were all out there, blaming the insurrection on Nancy Pelosi. I mean, you can't fix stupid. You really can't. If you believe that, I have some oceanfront property in Arizona for you. Amazing. Well, I see more and more. This also represents what's going on behind the scenes on the January 6th Commission, because this is about meetings and negotiating. So that's a flip meaning about that. About what's going on there. Let's ask how the January 6th Commission is going to go. So far, there are no words. It's so powerful. So powerful. Don't watch the videos if they traumatize you. I really recommend not watching the videos of January 6th. You know, we need balance. We can't have all bad things going on in our brains. Oh, dropped a card. Hang on. Drop 2 cards. This is usually significant. Okay, so this is a January 6th Commission. The sadness is just going to go on and on and on and on. But you know what? It all has to be exposed. And this card, I think this card came up the other night about, it's going to look really so horrifying. And it's going to be so horrifying. It's the what if parts. I'm picking up the what ifs. Oh, what if? Oh my gosh, that happened too. What if? Like those 4 Capitol police officers, what if they weren't able to hold the insurrectionists back? The violent mob. I mean, there's nothing scarier than a violent mob of thousands of people. That's pretty scary. And I've said it before. It's like because I read past lives, for a lot of people that was really extra traumatizing, because in a past life they actually succumbed to the violence of an actual storming of the castle. It's interesting that they were calling it like a medieval battle, because I got that we were even extra traumatized, those of us who in a past life actually experienced such things. I do read past lives, that's why I'm bringing that up. The 3 of Swords, it's the deepest heartbreak ever. And this is just in terms of what we're going to find out, but this card is indicative of what's going to freak us out. There's a lot of I get that there's interference from other countries that's involved in January 6th. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Love you guys. Love you guys. Hey, it's Saturday. I hope you're going out and having a fun time tonight. If you do happen to catch this video tonight, outdoors preferably. Go out and take a walk by a body of water if you can. Okay, so this 3rd card is about the insurrection. Oh my gosh. The death card keeps coming up. This is about January 6th. Okay, so I'm asking the guides okay, so we have how difficult, how heart-wrenching it will be, the January 6th Commission, and I think they're in recess right now, but they're still working behind the scenes. They're finding out some very disturbing information about what happened January 6th. The death card is indicative of the this is the end of the Republican Party as it is. And I do feel like the Adam Kinzingers, that breed of Republican will be rising up. Speaking of that, I do want to ask about voting rights. Beto O'Rourke and this other guy who's a pastor. He's a black man, and I don't remember his name. But they put together a peaceful protest for voting rights to save our democracy. And I didn't get to see it. I don't know if it was aired, but I heard that Willie Nelson was playing. I thought that was the coolest thing. Willie, I love Willie. I do love Willie Nelson. Being a musician myself, I just feel like you could just keep going and going and going and going, like Keith Richards. Anyway, I digress. I always said that Keith Richards would just keel over on the stage. And many years ago I said that. How is Keith Richards going to go? He's just going to go keel over. What a way to go. Anyway, I'm not. Willie's in good shape. But he's like 88. Music keeps you young. Pick up an instrument. It'll make you feel better. Take it from me. All right, I keep on getting distracted. All right, so I'm asking about voting rights. Okay. But just back to the last thing I was just talking about. I want you to know that the death card indicates the Republican Party is at its end. This is the end. It's done. The death card means transformation. It's going to turn into something else. And it's going to be, before I look at the voting rights, I'm going to look at what it's going to turn into. Try not to make the video too long, but let's see what happens. Well, there's going to be a branch of it that's going to be still dark stuff. The Republican Party, it's transforming. There's going to be a branch of it that's going to be still dark stuff. That part's not over. Won't be for a while. But this is the card of rebuilding. So the Republican Party is going to rebuild in a different way. And I feel like this January 6th commission is going to be the start of that. The start of the fall of the Republican Party. The GOP, the evil, I got the devil card, the evil Republicans. And there are some evil human beings that did some really evil stuff. It's disturbing how evil they can be. The Queen of Pentacles indicate, I feel like this is representing Liz Cheney. Even though none of us that are Democrats have been fans, she's doing the right thing. And I'm a fan of what she's representing, absolutely. And as you probably are too if you're watching this channel. This is they're going to go down a dark road, the ones that have been criminals, that are criminals. They're going to continue down a dark road, but I do see many of them in jail. I see Jared Kushner in jail, by the way, and Bill Barr, and Giuliani. Anybody else? The Queen of Pentacles means that there's going to be, I feel like there's going to be a female head of the Republican Party. Well, we shall see, right? Now, one more thing before I let you go is I do want to look at voting rights. I want to look at, because we've got those Democrats up in Washington, D.C. right now. There are organizations that are providing money to the Democrats from Texas that went to D.C. to fight for support from the federal government to save our democracy. Come on, Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe, don't be sleepy. This is important. I could be on for an hour. There's so much to talk about. But I don't want to take up too much of your time. So, voting rights. And the march today in Texas, and how that's all going to go. Are these horrific, draconian, racist attacks on voting rights and our democracy, are they going to be thrown out and destroyed? People have the power and love always wins. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. The people have the power and love always wins. I love Beto O'Rourke. I think he's a cool guy. This is about the 5th time I've gotten this card. We're rebuilding. That's the guides are just telling us tonight. We're rebuilding. Everything has crashed to the ground and we are rebuilding. It's a very emotional time. But we have to go through this pain in order to get to the better stuff, because the Ace of Pentacles, we got to keep our vision clearly in mind of how we want things to go. Really, really important. The moon is, this is about, remember I mentioned the full moon's in Aquarius too. This is really about going deep emotionally and finding out what we are made of. There's some good stuff. If you're willing to just emotionally really, you know, get into like what's important, what matters, what heals, and hang on to that, okay? I think that's it for today. So it's Annette Dion, at AnnetteDion7@gmail.com if you would like to book a personal reading, just like this, done remotely. I want to remind you that I have Church of Spirituality. Find me on Facebook just under my name, Annette Dion. Every Sunday it's live from 7 to 8 p.m. And if you do go to my timeline, there are services from past Sundays. I started the Church of Spirituality in December of last year, so it's good. It's music and a sermon and readings, and it's uplifting, and it's not a religion. It's just a place to come for spiritual inspiration. Thank you so much for joining. Please share if this video helped you, and I'm working on getting up to 1,000 subscribers so I can go live, so thanks for your help. Call for a reading, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.